So yeah, I'm starting late. I had some technical difficulties, and then honestly, these days it's just hard to focus on stuff. Yeah, it's just hard, man. We're in for a fucking weird one, bro. I guess for the next couple of these, I'm not gonna be able to stop myself from ranting. There's gonna need to be a build-up of left-wing populism in this country. There has been on the right wing, and it's allowed them to. It's allowed them to operate and build a lot of shit, in a space where they really shouldn't be able to do so. People don't like right-wing policies, but they like populism. They like any populism. If you actually gave people populism with policies that they like, they'd go for it. But that doesn't exist right now. That's the problem. That's the fucking problem. The institutionalists, which, the Democrats are institutionalist. They'll say, they want, stuff that people all want. But then they won't do it because, they're too captured by, fucking business interests and shit. And, no, that's just not gonna fly anymore. Nobody fucking likes those people. Nobody fucking goes along with those people. It's all, fucking, for better or worse, the wisdom of the masses that determines, who's gonna get voted for. And, a lot of fucking people are stupid, but, the ones that aren't gonna turn up just because they know that the choice that doesn't represent them is the right choice. They're not gonna fucking do that. They're not, fucking... Oh, man. There's just, 15 million people that didn't feel that this election mattered to them, at all. Because they haven't personally seen Trump, and they haven't didn't personally see anything good under Biden. And it's of course they didn't. There's no goddamn, fucking people don't trust the fucking media. People talk about how, fucking Joe Rogan and shit have become, a legitimate cultural force. An entrenched, institution. An entrenched institution of, fucking propaganda. Yeah, and you could absolutely, bro, you could directly compete with him so fucking hard, man. People fucking hate Joe Rogan. People fucking hate Steven Crowder. Those motherfuckers are so easy to clown on, it's insane. If there was even a couple of fucking cents thrown at some left-wing content creators, they would dominate. It wouldn't even be a question. But the problem is that, I'm repeating things I've heard at this point. The problem is the institutionalists want people that they can control and people that they can send their message, and it just doesn't work like that. The reason why the Republican Party is in the place that it is in is because they're weak. It's because they can't fucking do shit, and they haven't been able to for 20 years. And so they've ceded ground to their populist base over and over again, election cycle after election cycle. They just do what they think the base wants. And, that's controlled by, the fucking, alt media space that's controlled by the fringe. Elon Musk is a slightly smarter motherfucker than I gave him credit for. It's just that he wasn't trying to make money. He isn't battled, he's an idiot. The problem is that these people, all they know is how to fucking say slurs. That's it. They have excellent slur saying skills. But beyond that, they have nothing. They can't fucking. There's not going to be a single good thing they're going to be able to do in this presidency. Like, literally, they're not going to be able to get a single thing done that's going to help anyone. They're going to destroy, and they're going to try to, like, build a horrible thing in the thing they destroyed's place, and they're going to fail. That's just how these things go, dude. Like, the Trump campaign is entirely staffed with fucking loyalists. There's not a single regime in history where staffing your cabinets based on loyalty to the commander goes well. It just doesn't happen. It, period, just doesn't happen, bro. Man. Like, if the Democrats don't run like a Bernie Sanders type in 2028, because let's be clear, like, oh man, Trump's gonna run again in 2028. He says he's not. He's going to. If he's alive. If he's not alive, then they're going to have, like, fucking the entire media sphere and all the fucking churches that shouldn't be doing politics and everything are going to switch to a guy. They'll find some guy. It might be Don Jr. You know, it's gonna be difficult for them to transfer that glory onto another guy, but they're gonna try to do it. The Democrats need to fucking meet that with populist messaging, dude. There's no other fucking way. The institutions are functionally dead, dude. They're functionally dead. Nobody likes them. Nobody wants to support them. Like, I just want fucking, you know, I just fucking want whatever system actually improves my life. Like, I can say that as a person who is willing to support institutionalism to fend off fascism. I'm willing to do that. But the thing is, you actually have to deliver something, or you're just going to fail to fight off fascism, period. Because the fascists lie and they promise things. They're not going to deliver on those things, but they lie and they promise them. If you can promise them and actually deliver on them, and I'm not talking about right-wing stuff, I'm talking about, like, improving people's lives and putting more money in their pockets, you'll win forever. Okay? But, like, dude, man, people are talking about a lack of political education in this country, and that's true, but political education can't change who you vote for. It can't make you switch parties. Education can't, or it's very difficult for education to get somebody to actually overcome core biases at the very basis of their being. You can get people on the fringes to shift towards the center with education, but you can't get them to come over the gap. And actually, no, like, you can't even get them to come towards the center. You can get them to be smarter about what they're doing, but they're going to have the same worldview they have. It's just that, like, educating the youth gets them a worldview that's typically more left-wing. Man. I can't fucking focus, dude. Like, here's where I'm at with the art. I'd like to work on this. I should work on this. Like, this is a project that'll help, you know? In a small way, if I could build an audience that's like God, you know? Not horrible. An encouraging thing was that, like, Tim Walz was doing a stream. AOC did a stream. They know, bro, they know that they know, you know? It's just that the institutions haven't been woken up. The encouraging thing is that populists like AOC exist in the party, and they've continuously built up a cachet and gained ground more and more because, like, the majority of the country and the majority of populists do not have a left or right allegiance. They go with somebody who will guarantee them something, or they stay home. There are populists that have a party allegiance, and there's slightly more people like that for Donald Trump than there are for leftists because of how the right wing has just captured populism. Man. A big difference here. A big difference. Hitler was a younger man when he got elected. I think Barry Goldwater was the heyday for these people. They're past their prime. They can get a bunch of young men to, like, join up with them, but, like, those young guys have a limited shelf life. Like, people like Steven Crowder, man, you can just see what an unhappy piece of shit he is. It's not going to change any of their minds, but it does create a resistance to their messaging in the overall population. I remember, like, people talked a little bit about... I really didn't want to talk about politics on this stream, but, like, I gotta, dude. Like, I gotta just, like, talk into the void, man. I'm talking to people in my life, too, but there's, like, just times where you gotta, you know, just speak into a microphone. In Russia, where, like, a lot of the population is completely brainwashed, the government really has the populace shut down. They're in, like, cooked mode. They're able to disappear people. Man, that's what the right wing wants, man. They want that world. Of course, the problem is that, like, those people, you know, like, Russia is currently looking at a world where they're being actively left behind. Like, their military, even if they quote-unquote win the Ukraine war, it's such a Pyrrhic victory because they've lost the military. They don't have the industrial capacity to build back. And, like, the fucking birth rate thing, dude. Like, they don't... People don't want to live in Russia, you know? Like, they're desperate for new capital. They're desperate for, like, anything. Putin just can't deliver anything with the government that he has. They're just incapable of it. Literally, they designed this new frickin' tank, the T-14. The design sucked, and they couldn't even get money for a goddamn assembly line because the guy they gave the money to embezzled it all. Like, that's the world we're looking for. Frickin' fascists stop people from achieving anything, and they achieve nothing. You know? Like... there isn't the potential for them to do well. There never has been, dude. Their ability to govern is based on their inability to govern. Like, how does that... what am I fucking saying there, bro? Like... yeah, no, like, yeah, their ideology is, like, based on ignorance, basically. Their ideology is, like, based on, fuck you, I want to do the things I want to do anyway, I don't care how stupid they are. I'm gonna Ubermensch. I'm gonna fucking triumph my will and make them succeed. And they're just not going to. They're just not freaking going to, man. Man. Oh, man, the Democrats need to do liberal agitprop, man. Like, yeah, hopefully Where's Left-Wing Joe Rogan will turn into... here he is, his name is Hassan Piker. I know that you guys, like, don't get along with him, but here he is. Damn it, or even Destiny. Like, Destiny has cachet with people. I know that he's, like... the man... Destiny's kind of freaking cringe, but, like... bro, like... there's a thing there, you know? We can't wait for the institutions. Like... we can't wait for the institutions. We gotta look at things like the WFP. We gotta look at things that are outside without leaving the system. The Working Families Party, they're a group. They actually elected... they're a third party that actually, like, gets candidates elected. Like, they got, it doesn't sound like much, but, like, a city councilor in Philadelphia elected. Which, like, that's not nothing. Philadelphia is a major city, and, like, she's a council member at large, so... the way that works is that instead of representing a district, she and another council member at large, I think there's just two of them, they represent the entire city, and they're supposed to represent interests that can't be represented just by looking at a single neighborhood. So, no, there's more council at large than just two. Two are reserved specifically for the non-majority party. So there is a built-in seats for parties that are not the Democrats, because Philadelphia is a Democrat-only city, basically. And what that looks like for Philadelphia is we used to have two Republican councilors at large. They used to fill both of those seats. And now it's only one because there's a WFP member in the other seat. They beat the Republican, right? That's not nothing. Like, and the thing about the Working Families Party is that AOC also does a lot of organization with them. AOC also does a lot of organization with them. She does, like, a lot of work with them because they endorse her and they support her. That's, like, the secret sauce of the Working Families Party. When they see somebody in a party that's not them, they throw weight behind them, they throw organization behind them, they throw money behind them. Usually that's Democrats. And all a Democrat has to do to get that is, like, actually put their money where their mouth is in terms of supporting policies that actually help, like, fucking people in working families. Period. Period, man. Period. Like, man. Like, I am terminally a glass half full type. Terminally a glass half full type. I will always look at a situation as what can be gained from this, what is there to build in this situation, even when it's like fucking dire, you know? Like, my first instinct with analyzing this win is not only how do we combat this, but how do we combat this in a way that is, like, you know, truly builds something, you know what I mean? And dude, oh man, I'm just thinking, man, if you could actually get funding and connections behind left-wing content creators, one of the things that left-wingers do is they trounce right-wingers in any conversation. There used to be a right-wing debate bro culture where right-wing guys would kind of win. That was 10 years ago. Left-wing has gotten way better at talking to right-wingers. It's not even close these days, bro. Like, man. Yeah, we need to, for lack of a better term, we need to establish a left-wing grift, man. There is none. The secret sauce of right-wing content creation is that they get non-political people to go political by giving them money. Like, you know, you see content creators who are successful, but they know they're struggling a little bit. Like, Steven Crowder is a failed comedian. People like XQC are just like, they're just like kind of there. And like, the thing is, the left-wingers aren't failed. They're in it for principles, man. They're legitimately in it for principles. The grifters don't have any principles, and they're horrible people. They just fucking atrophy in the face of any scrutiny. Like, Steven Crowder, he is a mess of a human being, dude. He is, like, in terms of, like, the whole being a person thing, he's just gone, man. Democrats have ignored the internet for so many years because they just don't do well on it, because they're institutionalists, and the internet is its own institution. Like, I'm gonna say it, like, tech people don't like Silicon Valley, man. Like, at least in terms of, I mean, they like the idea of it, but, like, I don't like Windows. I don't like Microsoft. I don't like Elon Musk. I don't like Tesla. I'm a techie person. I want that stuff to be more in the hands of, like, you know, not some elitist institution that moves fast and breaks things, you know? Man, it's... It's tiring, dude. It's so tiring. In spite of everything, we are better positioned to beat these guys than ever, and we get better at it every year. It's just that we haven't yet crossed that threshold where there exists a machine to establish a new order for the 21st century. The 21st century hasn't happened yet. We're still stuck in 1993, dude. It's been 1993 for 30 years, man. Like... that was just the attitude, you know, that, okay, we beat the communists, therefore our institutions are eternal, and this is the way the world works forever. We just need to make incremental changes to bring the prosperity of 20th century capitalism to people that it didn't reach before, and they just didn't watch the numbers and didn't realize the fact that, like, yeah, no, that prosperity doesn't exist anymore for, like, anyone. You still need to help the minorities, because they're the ones that are suffering the most. But you need to get people behind a project where you're able to help them, and that means you still need to provide, like, something to motherfuckers that are complaining in, like, the majority, like, group. Man. And you know the bitch of all this? The Republicans aren't going to be able to shift demographic change. They're going to hoot and they're going to holler and they're going to deport 1 million Latinos to try to, like, keep white people as, like, the fucking majority of the country. They're not going to be able to shift it. Motherfuckers miscegenate, dude. Like, and not to mention that the deportations, I don't know if they're going to even happen, bro. They're going to try to make them happen. They're going to try, dude. They're going to burn shit down to try to, like, snatch people out of their houses and stuff. But, oh man, I just realized they're not gonna deport them. They're just gonna put them in private fucking prisons and they're gonna do slave labor with them. God damn it. That's what they're gonna do, because they gotta keep, like, fucking, they gotta keep red states happy, who rely on these people for the majority of, like, their agricultural output. That's the deal they're gonna make in the short term. Damn it, man. Fuck. That's the deal they're gonna make in the short term. They're gonna have, like, imprisoned labor, probably, dude. That's the only avenue. If that doesn't happen, then they don't get their deportation, simple as. They've got 2 years to do all their fucking bullshit. They're gonna lose Congress after that. I don't think there's a way. Because in 2 years, I don't think they could do enough to stop an election from happening. And, yeah, no, there's the fact that the military is an institution who doesn't like them and has been established as not liking them. There's a strong chance that a Euromaidan style thing happens in a couple of years. Like, under Trump, for people that were institutional backers, partisanship, you had some of the largest demonstrations in history happening, with, like, the Women's March in 2017 and then the George Floyd protests. Like, generational shit, dude. For not a lot of stuff happening. People were just fucking pent up. And the thing is that when there's actual popular dissatisfaction, and not just this... Because the problem is different sectors of the population on a populist basis get dissatisfied for different reasons. Trump can reliably turn out a populist... Man, I'm gonna have to delist this, bro. I don't want this to be part of my brand. I'll leave it up and see what people think. I'm only streaming till 7. I got 3 minutes left. Like, Trump can turn out people on low propensity election years, on years where turnout is lower, because the people that he courts are like fringes of, well, not fringes of society. He's got this massive base of rural people, and he only needs a couple of more like fringe groups to get a block that is over the line, right? That gets them more people that Democrats get from just institutional supporters. People can't be convinced in this day and age, dude. You gotta meet them where they live. And it seems like right now the majority of people are like racist or whatever, but like, motherfuckers didn't turn out this year. That was the biggest cohort of voters. People who didn't turn out even if they were registered. That's the people you gotta talk to, man. There are things you can do to get them to turn out. If you actually say, yo, here are your needs, I'm going to meet them. And the Democrats just haven't fucking done that, man. They're still in, like, the pre-Obama days of, like, you have to message to high propensity voters because low voters won't turn out no matter what. And that was true for so many years because, like, those people have always turned out for somebody who's actually going to make their life better and have always not turned out for an institution. And it's just the institutions had a stranglehold for, like, 50 freaking years. God, man. There is a machine you can build that breaks these motherfuckers once and for all. That, like, gets fascism out, and then it doesn't come back. Damn it. That machine exists. That machine, you know... Yeah, that machine exists. That machine, honestly, I don't think would be too difficult to build in this day and age, man. But you gotta actually build it. You gotta actually engage. Man, this was a nightmare. I guess it's just a sign of the times that you can't avoid talking about this stuff. It is literally impossible to avoid talking about this stuff, dude. Oh, literally impossible. Yep, there's my alarm. See y'all around, man. See y'all around.